Young. Head coach, just give us your general thoughts on the game and how you thought it went.
You know, outside of the stretch there where they obviously started chipping away and, you know, turned us over, even before they picked up the pressure, I thought our defense took a bit of a lapse, and that was not something that we were too happy with. But outside of that stretch, I thought defensively we were really good. They made some threes, but, you know, we talked a lot about threes that we're okay giving up. Some of the ones they hit, we were okay giving up. I thought just the compactness of our defense was where we wanted it tonight, and that was something that was a major point of emphasis coming into the game.
Your evaluation of Trevor Neal's first career double-double.
I didn't even know he had a double-double. I'm still tripping on the layups that he made, to be honest with you. No, what he had 10 boards. Wow. Okay. Trev's awesome, man. He does everything right. You know, he's one of our captains. He's a guy who's, you know, knows what we want to do and does it at a high level out there. So just happy for any success that he has. So really that's the first career double-double. Wow. We got to frame this stat sheet for him then for sure.
Dallin had 10 points in the second half. From your vantage point, did you feel like he was sort of finding his way in that second half a little bit more than the first half?
I thought he just, you know, was opportunistic with his looks. You know, I thought we actually ran some pretty good offense tonight that I thought helped him put him into some better positions. That was something that after that Providence game that I had to, you know, look myself in the mirror pretty heavily. And am I putting, you know, really him and Yegor, who are the heads of the snake in terms of handling pressure, am I putting them in enough position to succeed? And the resounding answer was no. And so we did a lot of different things to try to free them up in different kinds of ways. You know, I have to look at the film to see exactly how we got some of those looks, but we're just happy with the way, you know, he was able to, you know, stay composed and find ways to score the basketball.
Are you pretty much expecting a lot of full court pressure, a lot of picking you guys up at even a half court this year? And is that a concern, or do you feel like you're handled it okay?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends. You know, some games I think we've handled it extremely well. Other games, you know, in stretches we haven't. Even tonight, you know, there were stretches where we turned it over. Then there were stretches where, you know, it's do or die for them. They either give up a dunk or a three, or they turn us over, right? And so I think if we can just be a little bit more sound. I mean, we have enough shooting and enough guys at the rim that I think can put a lot of fear in people if they try to pick us up. Not just full court, but when you start doing, you know, traps at half court and at three-quarter court with the amount of shooting that we have, that's a dangerous thing to do. So I think we'll do enough to allow, you know, scare teams into not doing it the whole game.
What is the prognosis on Yegor? And will he play Saturday? Or
no, he's going to be out for a week and a half. We'll reevaluate. He's got a knee contusion.
Are you going to kind of treat it like Dallin, where when he's back, he's going to be 100%? Like, do you want to be a little bit more cautious at this point in the season with him?
Yes.
How do you feel like the team, you know, played without his presence tonight?
Played well. You know, I thought we tonight was the first night. You know, I thought where we had, you know, a lot more than one shooter, you know, clicking on all cylinders. You know, ironically, I thought that was one of Cannon's best games, and he was only 1 of 7 from 3. You know, so if he has a normal night from 3, that's even higher. But no, I just thought the ball was popping out there. I mean, you know, like I said, we're a team where if you make a mistake, we can really make you pay. And, you know, tonight we were able to do that, you know, more than we weren't, which I loved, you know. Without Yegor, you know, he's been the driver of a lot of those threes in terms of creating, but tonight it was everybody.
What kind of an extra emphasis does that put on Dallin Hall's role without Yegor as, like you were mentioning, kind of that secondary ball handler?
I just think for him, I said this to someone else pregame, I think he's still kind of getting his sea legs under him from being out. You know, it's hard to miss as much time as he did and then come back and just pick up where you left off. And so I think this is a big, important stretch for him to kind of get his legs under him a little bit more, get his confidence back up. I think tonight was a step in that direction for him.
What did you see from the team this past week and maybe practices coming back from that loss last week and maybe their focus, and was that kind of maybe like a humbling moment, I guess, their preparation for this game?
I thought they handled it extremely well, and to be honest, and I told the players this, you know, I'm not a guy that's going to put things on the players all the time. Like, I got to look, me and my staff have to look ourselves in the mirror. Are we doing the right things? And so I came in very adamant about what we wanted to get better at. had two very honestly ugly practices, which is exactly what we needed, and we kind of put the flag in the ground on what we wanted to be about defensively, especially. And then once we kind of made that declaration, I thought the guys' attention to detail and competitive spirit to that specific thing was really good. So I thought it was honestly probably one of the most important stretches of our year to date, and I thought the guys handled it well.
I felt like Foose was impactful in that first half, and it was kind of even towards the 10-minute mark in that first half. What'd you make of his impact and his performance?
I mean, I think something good's going to happen every time I put Foose in the game. You know, he's a guy I trust immensely. You know, he didn't score it as much as he normally does, but he had, 10 defensive rebounds. But he's more than that. I mean, he's more of an offensive hub for us. You know, you talk about some of the pressure. You know, tonight we did a lot more stuff where we're hitting him in the kind of that trail spot. First half we had several backdoor cuts. He makes nice passes there. So he's just a guy that, like I said, I have a lot of trust in, and we try to use him all over the floor because of it.
So looking ahead a little bit, you're going to play Wyoming in the Delta Center. It's kind of a tradition for BYU. Is that something that you are okay with and want to continue a game a year up there?
Yeah, I think it's cool. Anytime our guys can be around anything that is NBA centric, I'm all for it. I think it's a good experience for those guys to play in a venue like that and you know, have that experience as a college player. I think it's pretty cool.
Speaking of which, do you have a relationship with Will Hardy, the Jazz coach, or obviously he was here tonight?
Yeah, no, I know Will very well. You know, we both kind of grew up in him more than me, but in the Spurs tree. Brett Brown, who I worked for in Philly, was with Will as a youngster when he was in San Antonio, and then Monty Williams and the whole thing. Like, the Spurs tree is massive. I'm just like a small little stepchild of it, but I know Will through that, and he's been great since I've gotten here. We've connected quite a bit actually, and that was really cool that they were there tonight.
2 more questions.
That halftime moment for AJ, I don't know if you saw because you were obviously in the locker, but it's been well documented. AJ was impressed with the NBA approach that you have with this program. But how much did you talk to him about, like, Cougar fans and just kind of the environment that what BYU provides and the platform that this place provides?
Quite a bit. Yeah, we talked about it quite a bit. I mean, I said this the other day when we did the call, I believe, but what I'm learning in recruiting is it's not, like I said the other day, it's not one singular event, right? It's not one visit, one call, one text, one game you go to. It's just everything collectively. I think we did our staff, everyone at BYU, there's so many people that are involved in putting things together to kind of showcase what this place is about. And, we went top to bottom on showing him, and every recruit, quite frankly, but obviously he's kind of unique with his kind of status, I guess you could say, but what we can do to help him, grow his brand, so to speak, with all of the BYU TV and everything that there is, and then the fan support and the network and the alumni. I mean, there's just so many things that make this place unique, and it's just really cool that I think the world is going to be getting a bigger taste of it now because of a guy like his stature that chose to come here because of a lot of that stuff.
Last question.
You're somewhere between a third and a fourth of the way through the season. What do you think your team has done well up to this point, and what are some things that you still think they need to work on?
Yeah, I think identity offensively is something that I'm happy with for the most part. I think the ball moves when you watch our team play. I think we at least try to execute our stuff. The rebounding has been a strong suit of ours so far this year on both ends of the floor, which is something that we talked about from the second I got here. I think defensively, I think we're doing things that are positive, but there's plenty of room to grow. But I think our team defensive concepts are starting to come together, and I'd say those are the things that have stood out to this point.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Pleasure being in the
Appreciate it.
second.